Hey guys, this is Rob John Webb here for Waxadisc Music Tutorials, and what I want to show you today is a brief tutorial on how to add extra processing to your Ableton Fender Rhodes plugin. The preset of the Rhodes, which is called Old School Rhodes, is a good preset, but it just needs that little bit more processing added to it in order for it to sound as authentic as it would have done in the 70s on a real keyboard. So, for example, if we're going to be building tracks like Lo-Fi House and Deep Techno and Deep House, so those kind of things that require Rhodes chords, what we'll need to do is add a little bit of processing to that just to make them a little bit more gritty and a little bit more rounded in their sound. Whilst on the other end of the spectrum, if we want to make something that's smooth and as polished as jazz or as funk or something like that, a disco, we want to make the sound a little bit more cleaner and a little bit more, polished, so to speak. So what I'm going to do in the tutorial is I'm going to do two different settings, and then I want you to go away and see if you can add these to your palette of sound and see how you get on. So here goes, and let's watch the video. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to create a Rhodes that has a lo-fi house feel to it. So it's going to have a little bit of grit and a little bit of distortion and a little bit of warmth to it. So first things first, we go to our instruments rack in Ableton, and we open instrument rack here, and then we look for piano and keys, and we look for Old School Rhodes, and we're going to put that in just there. Okay, and we've got the basic settings here, so let's just listen to it in its raw state. So it's really flat, it's nice because it's got those tonalities in it, which is like. Let me just turn my master down a bit. Okay. Which is great, but what we want to do is we want to add a little bit of roundness to it, a little bit of warmth to it. So we're going to go to Audio Effects and grab an auto filter and drop that in there like so. Then we turn up the LFO all the way up and the rate from hertz to the musical notation, and we go to 1.6 and we pull that in around between 3 and 150 hertz, somewhere around there. Okay. So that's that. Can you hear the warmth on that? It's really rounded now, and it's just got everything that we need. You can have this at any sort of setting. You can mess about with all the different rates here, but I tend to, obviously, the closer you get down to this end, you do some really good stuff if you automate this. But let's keep it at the 235 hertz mark. Okay. So we've done that, and now what we want to do is we want to add that little bit of distortion to it. Now in the previous tutorial I did on Lo-Fi House, I added a white noise throughout the whole track using a synthesizer plugin. What we want to do on this is we want to have the white noise, so to speak, the grit, on the instrument only. Okay, so we're going to add a bit of erosion from here, and we're going to select the noisy preset, and we're just going to turn it down to the left slightly to about 1.37 hertz, something like that. Probably a little bit too much. Pull it down a bit more. Just that subtleness there. Look. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to throw a little beat in there, and we'll see what it sounds like. I want a bit more on there. Just experiment with it. So imagine you want to record some moody chords and you just want to get that in there. Let's just put this in. And then just see what they come up with. And that was a... Where's it gone? And that was a D minor 7 chord with a... I can't remember what chord it was. I just played now. Let's have a look. A D minor 7 chord with a G Okay. What did I just play? Those three, wasn't it? So A minor 7 basically. So D minor 7. And like that. Pull that across. So there you go. That's just a nice little way of adding character to a preset that is otherwise dry. Obviously, you can add a delay to this as well if you wanted. Just get a ping pong delay up and set it at 30 and 30, roughly thereabouts, and add a top end. And so on, just experiment with that. But basically, to get that kind of grittiness, just add an auto filter, a noisy erosion, and a bit of delay. So obviously I've got loads of that noise on there at the minute. I don't want too much. So there you go. Head off and do that. Okay, so we've explored using distortion and stuff to create that kind of lo-fi sort of vibe on a Rhodes and give it a bit more character. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove that Rhodes and we're going to start a fresh one. So we go into Instruments, Electric, and get let's have a look what we can get here. There's one that I like, which is the MK13 old piano, okay, which is this one. Okay, and what I want to do with this is I want to make it a little bit more suitable for jazzy house, funk and soul. So again, get a auto filter, but this time change the amount up to the full blast, HZ hertz to your musical notation, and leave it on 1.4 and take it down to about 150, 160 if you can. Go up an octave. Now let's just play a chord in that. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the beat on these. Obviously, we don't want all this hard stuff on here. So I'm just going to get rid of these beats because they're not suitable for the next part of this. Let's get a drum sample in like this, a little bit of disco-y sort of a beat. Something simple with a few congos and stuff. And then get an EQ, EQ8, and let's have a look at this. And just raise up number 3 slightly, just where the peaks are. And we just want to make it a bit brighter, so just experiment with that there. See what I mean? And just listen to the wobble on that, and that's just proper 70s. Put the beat on. Go up an octave. Now if we played that without any of the processing that we've done, take them off, just play. It's really empty now. So that's all we've got to do really, is just add those tiny little subtleties to it, just to give it the real character that it deserves. Which, you know, if you listen to old records from the 70s, that's exactly how they sound when they use Rhodes, you know. So there you go. So there's just two quick, simple ways of adding character to a preset that would otherwise be just quite flat and generic and quite boring. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the like button, etc, etc. Follow me on all of the social media links in the description box, and check out the blog waxadist.blogspot.com for loads of free VSTs, drum samples, chord samples, etc, etc, and loads of advice. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.